In this overview, we will provide the answers to some common questions we receive regarding the sales of licenses. It can get confusing, so let's get started. One thing to keep in mind is one license for all. First, I'll describe our licensing options. There are two types of licenses, floating and non-floating licenses that we call activation. I will also explain what I mean by interactive GUI versus render-only licenses and describe the difference between floating and non-floating licenses. Let's start with non-floating license, also referred to as internet activation. Non-floating activation keys can be used on one machine to use our plugins on any of the supported host applications and transferred by deactivating and activating. This option is best for individuals or smaller facilities. What if you need to deactivate non-floating license keys if you want to transfer from one machine to another? You simply click on the activation or info button for the product in the plugin product settings. Deactivate the license on that machine. Then install the product on the new machine and activate the license on the new machine. If you've already installed the product, you can simply activate using the activation or info button in the product settings. What if you want to activate on a machine but getting a message that all activations are in use? You would deactivate it. If you know which machine it's on, you can directly navigate to and run revision activate and press deactivate. If not, send the key to sales@revisioneffects.com and we can find it and deactivate it for you. Floating licenses are designed for medium to large organizations that have multiple workstations. The advantage to this plan is to provide maximum flexibility of use of the Revision Effects plugins. Floating licenses enable the license to reside on a machine designated as a server and can be used on a server or checked out on any number of client machines. It can be in use on one machine per license at a time. This option is usually best for larger facilities for more ease in sharing and management. A licensed server is established in your facility or at a location where all your users can reach that server. The server holds the license keys that you purchased. It works much like borrowing books from a library. The library may have 5 copies of a book you need. When all 5 are out on loan, there are not more available for you. Once a lender returns the book you want, you can borrow it and use it for your project. In a similar way, the license is checked out when the plugin is opened and applied in a host application, and the license is automatically returned to the pool when you exit the application in which you used the plugin. If you need more copies of one of our plugins, you can purchase additional floating licenses. Each license can be associated with one machine independent of the number of render jobs on that machine. When that user is finished using, the user releases the license back to the licensed server, making it available to another member of your team, just like the library analogy. Interactive GUI versus render-only. You might wonder, since render-only licenses cost less, can you just buy one of those? Render-only licenses for our products will only work on projects created using the interactive version of the product and are not intended as a primary license. We offer these at lower cost in general for facilities with render farms. The proper information for the render-only version will be generated when the interactive license of our product is present and available at the time of saving the project. Render-only licenses, when available for a product and host application, only work with command line, batch versions of programs that have no interactive front end, such as AE Render or Burn for Flame. You cannot use this option unless the host application supports the render-only version, and you must own at least one copy of the interactive version of the plugin. Note, for After Effects, the render-only licenses will not work with AE's Render Queue nor AME, but only with the program AE Render. Now that you understand the types of licenses, you might wonder what works in which application. We can go back to our website and look up each product to see which hosts that product is available on. We also have this master cheat sheet. While we're on the subject of products and what works in which application, let's talk about bundles, or what we call affections. We can refer back to our website to the All Products link to see all of the products and short descriptions of each. We can see this compatibility chart to see what's included in Affections and what's included in Affections Plus. It's important to note that Affections Plus includes any product upgrade for a year. There are a few special cases. Fusion and Flame support more than one type of plugin. In Flame, these are Sparks and OFX. In Fusion, from the Fusion page of a product, it downloads the native Fusion plugin. To get the OpenFX version, you need to use another host page like Scratch. What about version mismatches? What if I downloaded the current version of a product, but I have a license for an older version? You may need to upgrade if the older version is no longer supported on newer operating systems, particularly for Mac. Otherwise, go to Product page on the website, choose Product and Host Application, and scroll to the bottom of the page to show previous versions. What if I have the current version of the product, but it's a 16-character serial number issued prior to December 2018? Write to sales@revisioneffects.com for a free replacement activation key. What if I have an older version for a single host application, but I want to switch to another host? Upgrade to the current version. Now we are multiple hosts, one license for all. Same if you migrate from Mac to Windows. We don't differentiate anymore. What if I have an existing license, but it's from several years ago, maybe even 10 years ago? If so, you're still eligible to upgrade. No need to buy a full license again. Now, I bet you're wondering if we offer any discounts or have any sales. This is what we offer. Volume discounts starting at 15% on 5 or more of the same product, 20% for 10, etc. Students and instructors, 30% discount with proof of eligibility, such as a current ID, course registration, etc. School labs, volume discount plus 20% off and provide floating licenses at no extra charge, usually a 50% additional premium. Sales, occasionally. Sign up for the newsletter and follow us on social media to stay informed. Speaking of newsletter, get notifications about product updates, upgrades, new products, and events.